Now, before I start this, I just want to say, like, I am in no way in this video giving anyone, a particular group, an excuse or a pass on, being mediocre. But I want to talk about absent dads. And this may surprise you as to my views on this. Because while, there is a difference in a child when the dad isn't present, and I'm going to speak about females, girls, young girls that grow up without a father. Because while there is like evidence that girls that grow up without a father, they exhibit particular behaviors, I call cap on a lot of that. And I call cap on it because at the end of the day, it's the individual's decision out here. Okay, I grew up without my dad. Like, he wasn't a deadbeat, but my dad couldn't get his act together. My dad, he was into drugs and he was into drinking. And my mom left him, all right? My dad, he was like, I don't want to say he was in and out. It was just like really weird. Like, my dad always wanted to be there, but I just wanted to be around my mom. I was more connected to my mom because that's who I seen more of. So I just really didn't want to be around him, to the point where like my mom would have to force me to go over there, and I would throw a fit when I would have to go and spend time with him because it's just something that I didn't want to do. I was comfortable being with my mom. But anywho, that's how it was throughout my life with my dad. Even now, like he wants to talk to me on the phone. I really don't be wanting to talk to him on the phone. I just don't want to. Like, my dad he's just somebody that I don't really connect with like that. But his brother, my Uncle Wade, my Uncle Wade and I, we're really close. I would love to just, when I was just in DC, I popped up at my Uncle Wade's house. Like, I let him know that I didn't even tell him that I was there. I just hit him up and said, hey, in DC, where are you at? And that's what I want to do. I like my Uncle Wade. I love to talk to my Uncle Wade. I can talk to him for hours. In fact, I talked to him for 4 hours when I was at his house, about everything under the sun. But anywho, that's just how it was. I just really didn't want to hang out with my dad. But I didn't grow up like wilding out like that as a kid or as a teenager, because I just looked at certain stuff and I wasn't judgmental. It's just something that I didn't want to do. Like, there was a friend that I had, and she grew up with both of her parents were married. She was created within wedlock, and I'm not even going to go there. I'm just not even going to take it there. But that's why I say, like, this is an individual choice on how you chose to go out into the world and present yourself, what you decide to do in your personal life. I don't think you not having a dad there has too much to do with it, because at the end of the day, you can observe behaviors and know what behaviors are right and wrong. You decide to go out there and wild out or become a stripper or do drugs, whatever the case, because that's what you wanted to do. You cannot blame that on your dad. That's what you wanted to do. And I mean, it sucks that he wasn't there to stop you, but I know plenty of people that have their fathers and are straight up drug addicts. Like, their parents are, paying for their rehab. Their dads are paying for their rehab. So I don't think that's not an excuse to that I didn't have a dad that was there, and this is why I'm behaving the way I do. Granted, not having a dad around may have something to do with it, a little bit, but no, at the end of the day, it falls on you. Like my daughter, she pushes it sometimes with the stuff that she wears out of this house. And her dad, he would check her outfit sometimes, and he'll, like, if we're out shopping and she's looking at shorts, if she's pulling up some shorts that are too short, he's like, no, you're not doing that, put those back. And then that's it. There's no argument or anything. But Ariana, she's wanted to push the bar as to how she's dressing now. She likes to wear belly shirts because she's skinny and she's tall, but she's 15. So, it's, you gotta watch it. You're really treading. But Ariana, she's not into dating at all. She's more into fashion. Right now, there's 2 Lululemon jackets that I have to buy her. That's what she's focused on, music. She wants to become a marine biologist. So these are things that interest her. But then you have dads that, have their daughters that are in middle school and they're okay with their daughters dating. Again, you cannot blame the dad all the time. It's the individual. At the end of the day, it's the individual choice to do these things. And I mean, if you're a dad and you're supporting that your middle school daughter dating, fine, that's you. But that's something that we just never wanted our daughter to focus on. Even now that she's in high school, maybe when she's like 16 or 17, like if she wanted to start dating, maybe, but that's just not even a topic right now. But yeah, I think that we need to start moving away from that narrative that an absent father is the reason why women behave the way they do. No, you behave the way that you do. You go into that profession that you wanted to go in because that's what you wanted to do. I grew up in a dysfunctional situation, but I seen that there was a lot of dysfunction going on, and that's not how I wanted to live my life. So I did not adopt those characteristics, those traits. If I did, that would have shown that there is some mental weakness there with me, because I'm looking at dysfunction and I'm saying, hey, I want to join in on that dysfunction also. I want this for my kids also. Like, that's crazy. Like, if I grew up in like the projects for a little bit, that would be insane for me to want my children to grow up in that same environment. It's up to me to make the decisions. Just because I seen it when I was growing up doesn't mean that it's okay for me as an adult to have that as an excuse as to how I live a mediocre life or make mediocre decisions or have a mediocre job. That's not to be blamed on my mom. That's not to be blamed on my dad. And this is why I like giving stories about how I grew up, because it's a visual that there is really no excuse for people to behave the way that they behave. There's no excuse for people to limit themselves, to feel like they're oppressed or any of that stuff. Because I came from a bunch of dysfunction and I said, hey, I don't like it. That doesn't make sense to me. So this is not what I'm going to put my life's direction in. So yeah, while, absent fathers do suck, you guys do suck if you're absent in your kid's life for that child, I don't believe that it's an excuse for you to act out when you're in childhood. Like, you should just know. And even into adult, especially an adult, if you're an adult and you're still blaming the fact that you didn't have your dad or your mom around, this video's about dads, that's no excuse for you to behave the way that you behave. You to be out here wilding out, looking for a man's attention, doing whatever, getting BBLs, just being completely ridiculous. And you're blaming that because you had an absent father. Like, get out of here with that. That makes zero sense to me at all. But you guys let me know what you think.